Imagine waking up on Christmas morning to find 30 of your neighbors executed by Nazis. Welcome to the Battle of the Bulge, where holiday cheer met wartime brutality in the most twisted game of capture the flag ever played. You're about to dive into a tale that makes your wildest Call of Duty fantasies look like a picnic in the park. We're talking about a battle where American soldiers quizzed each other on baseball stats to weed out German spies, where tanks dueled in village streets like a deadly demolition derby, and where the weather forecast could mean the difference between victory and annihilation. This isn't just another boring history lesson, it's a roller coaster ride through one of World War II's most intense and pivotal moments. In December 1944, Hitler launched a massive offensive through the Ardennes region, catching the Allies completely off guard. The German plan was audacious. They aimed to split the Allied forces and reach the port of Antwerp. If you think your boss has unrealistic expectations, imagine working for Hitler in 1944. The German 150th Panzer Brigade, led by Otto Skorzeny, employed bizarre tactics, disguising themselves as Americans. It was like a deadly game of Among Us, but with tanks instead of spacesuits. This led to widespread paranoia among American forces, with checkpoints quizzing soldiers on baseball statistics and state capitals. Imagine trying to remember who won the 1943 World Series while staring down the barrel of a gun. Talk about performance anxiety. As the battle raged on, both sides faced a brutal winter. Soldiers endured freezing temperatures and waist-deep snow. Some American troops were even found frozen to death in their foxholes. If you think camping is tough, try spending weeks in sub-zero temperatures while people are shooting at you. The siege of Bastogne pushed both sides to their limits. Surrounded and outnumbered, American troops held out against overwhelming odds. When the Germans demanded their surrender, the American commander, General McAuliffe, famously replied with a single word, "Nuts!" It was perhaps the most badass way of saying no in military history. The tide of the battle began to turn when the weather cleared on December 23rd. Allied air forces resumed operations, striking German positions and supply lines with impunity. It was like the world's deadliest weather forecast. Clear skies mean bombs are coming. General Patton's Third Army performed a remarkable 90-degree turn to relieve Bastogne, covering over 100 miles in harsh winter conditions. You think your holiday travel plans are stressful? Try redirecting an entire army on short notice. The battle saw intense tank warfare, with German Tigers and Panthers facing off against more numerous American Shermans. If you think rush hour traffic is bad, imagine navigating through a sea of exploding tanks. Urban combat was equally brutal. In towns like St. Vith and Houffalize, soldiers had to clear buildings room by room. If you think navigating a new city is challenging, try doing it while every building might explode. Amidst the chaos, civilians often found themselves caught in the crossfire. In the village of Bulge, 30 young Belgian men were murdered by the Gestapo on Christmas morning. If you think your neighborhood has problems, at least it's not a war zone. As the battle drew to a close, it became clear that Hitler's gamble had failed. The Battle of the Bulge would go down in history as one of the bloodiest battles fought by U.S. forces in World War II. The legacy of the battle lives on, not just in history books, but in the very landscape where it was fought. Even decades later, unexploded ordnance was still being discovered in the Hurtgen forest. It's like the forest is playing a very dangerous game of hide-and-seek with historians. In the end, the Battle of the Bulge demonstrated the resilience, courage, and resourcefulness of the Allied forces. It showcased the importance of air power, logistics, and adaptability in modern warfare. But more than that, it serves as a stark reminder of the brutality of war and the incredible sacrifices made by the greatest generation. So the next time you're complaining about your Wi-Fi being slow or your latte being too cold, remember the soldiers who endured the Battle of the Bulge. They faced freezing temperatures, constant danger, and unimaginable hardship. And they did it all without being able to post about it on Instagram. Now that's what I call tough.